समस्तजन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. So today we do a verse 32. This is a much criticized verse because of the misunderstanding of the real meaning of the scriptural text. So we will do this. Mam he parthvyapashritya yepi papayonayah striyo vaishyastatha shudra tepi yanti param gatim. It says, for taking refuge in me, they also, who, O Partha, may be of sinful birth. And the sinful birth is explained as women, Vaishya, as well as Shudra. Even they attain the supreme goal. Now, of course, this is going to be criticized because women, half the population, and another 25 you can add Vaishya and Shudra. Okay? Another 25 Brahmins. Now, even if you take, is the Lord trying to say that 75% of the population is not fit enough to come on the spiritual path? Think about it very seriously. Coming from the mouth of Krishna, how can he talk like this? This is a very, very critical thing. Now, one has to understand very carefully that it is you know, he is trying to tell you the mental temperaments of people. See, he says that even people of sinful birth, don't miss the word even. He says, even those who are way low down in the evolutionary ladder, if they come onto the spiritual path, they very soon, their entire mental climate changes and they start evolving into spiritual beings. Their whole mindset changes. But so why does he point out the mindset of, he calls them he calls them Papa Yoni. Now, Papa Yoni actually means from sinful sources, those who have a large share of negative vasanas. Okay, one meaning of Papa Yoni. Papa Yoni means they are born in families where negative vasanas mostly go. That does not mean all Vaishya, that does not mean all Shudra, that does not mean all women. It only means people who have these kind of temperaments. Now, the temperament of women, it has nothing to do with the body of women. Okay, over here it only means, see, what is the conversation here? The conversation is between teacher and taught. They cannot be talking on a physical level. It is a mental level on which this teaching is being given. It is an intellectual level on which this teaching is being given. So the words used have to be interpreted mentally and intellectually. Okay, now here it is effeminate men or effeminate men and women who do not have the courage to discard the present and to lift themselves up and push themselves up. They don't have the guts, the courage to live the spiritual life, are called effeminate creatures. Now, Gurudev used to say many of them are bearded variety who are effeminate, and masculine variety are the ones who wear frocks and sarees. So that is also true. Haven't you seen women who are much more gutsy, much more aggressive than men? And haven't you seen men who are timid, mild, inconfident, effeminate? and don't have the courage to do anything new, don't have the courage to try anything new. So those are considered as effeminate women. Now, see, so then the variety, this is what women means over here, that the temperament like that. Acha, then also when he says Vaishya. Now, Vaishya is a personality that concentrates, Vaishya means trader. Now, trader mentality, there are many people who are like that. So many people in India who are running businesses are Kshatriya. Many people who are in politics are Brahmins. Haven't you seen? Many people who are criminals and are caught and jailed are Brahmins. Born Brahmin, what I mean to say. So he is here not talking of the born variety. He is talking of a mental temperament carried over by your past vasanas, which become habitual. Okay, so the Vaishya temperament is always calculating money, always calculating how much will I gain, what will be the profit margin. Those people who are constantly into that, they cannot apply themselves in spiritual meditation or spiritual practices, because their mind is too agitated in terms of calculations of personal gains. Then comes Shudra. Okay. Now, Shudra, the temperament of Shudra is found in anybody, whether he's a Brahmin or a woman or a Vaishya or anyone. Shudra also is what? Sloth, laziness, hmm, procrastination, not doing the work immediately, not taking decisions, very fond of sleeping, excessive sleep, you know, uh, uh, being awake at night, sleeping during the daytime. All these come under Shudra temperament. So, all those who have this kind of temperament, that they don't want to work, they are lazy, they just are happy with feeding their bodies and sleeping. So, those kind of temperament people, and you find them across the human race, no matter which country, no matter which home they are born into. So, this is basically he's saying that it is the commercial attitude of Vaishya, all the time calculative, selfish, personal gains, crookedness, telling lies, valueless behavior. If there is a profit coming, forget the value. You know, these kind of values are connected with uh, business oriented people, and only those who think that values don't matter, only profit matters. Now, that kind of person, so many hotels in India are being run by whom? Kshatriyas. Many businesses are being run by Kshatriyas, right? Vaishyas are teachers, so they are Brahmins. If they are teachers, they are Brahmins. If they are on the spiritual path, they are Brahmins. But if Brahmins are into business, what do they become? They become Vaishya. So it is by temperament and by your profession and what you are doing that the mentality of a person is determined. And that mentality, he calls it Papayoni. How does that Papayoni come? That Papayoni comes by past actions and past thoughts. And accordingly, your mental temperament is made, and that is why. So, understand that the Gita, that is a universal scripture. It does not talk about a certain clan or class or just Hindus. It talks about man in general, doesn't it? It talks of, Gita is one which talks of divine tolerance. All are equal. In the Gita, it never specifies that this one is higher, that one is lower, this one is this one is. It talks of mental temperaments of the human race. So, in such a book, how can it condemn 75% of people's rejected for the spiritual path? It's not possible. It is talking of those few people across the human race, only those few people who uh, uh, who are of these kind of temperaments, they cannot really rise in spirituality. And therefore, in the you will say, okay, in so many Upanishads and so many Shastras and all that, even there women and Shudra of Vaishya are excluded from it. Understand that for a long time Hinduism had become very hardwired value systems and hardwired social norms because of the Brahmins who controlled it, who monopolized it. Every religion goes through a degenerative process, and Hinduism also did. So there was a time when Brahmins had a monopoly, and they wanted to hold the power to choose who they want to teach or not teach. Even they did not want to teach. They just kept the knowledge to themselves alone and told the others that when I say that this is right, it is right. They did not allow people to read the scriptures or understand the scriptures. Huh? It is with the great grace of even people like Swami Chinmayanand who brought the scriptures to us, so that universally we can at least know what is in our religion, know what is in our philosophy, know what is in our scriptures and shastras and shrutis. It was denied, and that is what was the most horrible sin committed by these Brahmin class of people, priest class mostly, who were used to hold on to this thing. So Krishna is the last person. Krishna, you have read till chapter 9 now, and most of the time you have read only this, that even sinners will get redeemed when they come to me. He talks of there is no partiality. He says, I am the same to everyone. He says, I am open with my grace. I am standing there with open arms. Come and take from me. But you have to have the capacity to take, which is called patrata. तो ये जो लोग लिस्ट करे हैं, the kind of temperaments of these three kind of people are the people who do not have the patrata to come forward. To walk the spiritual path, you need a lot of courage. Lot of courage. Even your own family members will do not understand when you go onto this path. They even pull you back. That where are you going? What are you doing? Right? So then it is people without courage, people who are slothful, people who are lazy, those who are money minded, those who are all the time narrowly thinking of selfish gains, or those who do not think of others. It is only me, me, and mine. Me and mine has to be dropped before you come onto the spiritual path. So, the true implication of these words needs to be understood correctly and carefully. Hmm? So, a particular commercial tendency of the mind becomes Vaishya, and which sacrifice all other values to, to material gains. That is a Vaishya temperament. Effeminate temperament is that which lacks courage, lacks guts, lacks the courage to walk the spiritual path. That is effeminate temperament. And Shudra, I told you very clearly, it is lazy, procrastinating, slothful, a lot of sleep in them, uh, Rakshasi temperament of being awake at night, sleeping during the day, and not working, not even earning. Now, these are the temperaments of Shudra. So, please understand that spirituality as a business is done by Vaishyas, Vaishya temperament people. Haven't you heard of these fake gurus going around who amass so much of wealth? They are not Brahmins, they are Vaishya in their temperament. So many Mercedes, so many cars, multiple bungalows, multiple this, that, enjoying a very, very luxurious life, womanizing, drinking, smoking, doing everything, and going about as spiritual gurus. So, are they Brahminical? No. What are they? They are worse than all the three categories given. Their temperament is criminal and commercial. ठीक है ना? So then they do not come into the Brahmin category even if they are born as Brahmin or Kshatriya. It does not matter. A person like Swami Chinmayananda, born a Kshatriya, what a great teacher. So where does he come? Does he fall in the Kshatriya category or does he fall in the Brahminical category? Anyone who studies the scriptures and teaches the scriptures has a Brahminical value system and Brahminical mind. So he is a Brahmin. देखिए गीता में जो चार divisions करे हैं, I had told you while I was doing that portion, if you have been with me along with, that these four castes, the Lord himself says, I have created these four different kinds of temperaments in human beings depending on guna karma vibhaja. Gun or karma, not by birth. He's saying it very clearly. I have made these temperaments not by birth, but by guna and karma. So don't think that if you are born into this house, so you are this or that. It's not that. How does your mind work? And what is the profession you are attracted to? That is what will determine your temperament. Okay, so now lastly in this verse, he promises that even those who go on evil ways are lifted up by me. They are redeemed, they are reformed, their mindset is changed by me, and they will be slowly and steadily cured and purified, purged of all their negative tendencies, all their negative thoughts. So look what an optimistic verse this is. It says that no matter, the two verses before this said the same thing, that no matter, even if you are a hardened criminal, you will be reformed. Remember that verse we did last time? Same is this also, that even if you are born with negative tendencies, negative value systems, even then the Gita will evolve you. The Gita will purify you, and it is, see, all these tendencies just denote the qualities of the mind. So you can take it as Gurudev has written over here, Stri Tattvam, Vaishyatvam and Shudratvam. Stritvam, Vaishnavrattam and Shudratam, these are the attitudes. One is the feminine nature, the other is commercial attitude. I'm reading from the book now. Commercial attitude. And the third one is the morbidity in the inner life of the person. So it is the Varnashram Dharma. If you misinterpret it, then of course it sounds as terribly unfair and very wrong. But Varnashram Dharma, you have to understand the meaning. When the Lord is saying Gun Karma pe vibhajit hai, you have this Gun Karma vibhajan all across the world. There are laborers in the world, there are teachers and intellectuals in the world, there are business people in the world, and there are warriors and politicians in the world. Hai ya nahi? All these four classes are across the world. So it is a mental temperament of a human being. That is what is being said over here. And now he says, देखो इसी verse में he has said, so those who come to him, they attain the supreme goal. Even such people attain the supreme goal. So when you do upasana, upasana means coming close to or sitting next to on a lower seat with a humble attitude. That is what upasana means. And those who do upasana, they will, whoever they are, whatever they are, they will come to me. And the negative tendencies will be removed and the mind will become ready to receive this knowledge. Come to the next verse. Kim punar brahmana punya bhakta rajarshayas anityam sukham anityam sukham lokam imam prapya bhajasva mam. Gurudev used to say that learn this second line by heart. Anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasva mam. He used to say, he used to say that every fool goes on asking, what is the purpose of life? What is the goal of life? They don't even want to listen to the answer. They are just asking for the sake of asking. They are not even that serious that let us at least hear what the teacher has to say about it. Even that they are not saying. Now, but the question over here is how much more easily then the holy Brahmanas or the devoted royal saints attain the goal. See, if these people can also attain the goal, Geeta is saying that women, Vaishya and Shudra can also attain the goal. So he's saying that how much more will people who have Brahmin temperaments and who have Kshatriya temperaments, having obtained this impermanent and joyless world, you do worship me devoutly. Hmm. Gurudev used to say, in the world there is 98% dukkha and 2% sukha. That is what he used to say. In everything possible, huh? You now in this kua you have fallen, huh? You've fallen in this well. You are there, very much there in the world. How to get out of it or how to win over it? That is what is being asked here. So there is definitely joy in the world, but that joy is so temporary. It comes like a flicker of light and vanishes. After that, there is total darkness. So it is dukkha, dukkha, dukkha. There are imperfect joys, half joys, joy just begun and ended. And uh, any intelligent, educated person slowly gets disgusted with this way of life, that no matter what I do, no matter what I gain, it ultimately results in nothing. Hmm? And the only way to possess joy or to have complete joy in your heart is the surrender of your ego to the Lord. And unless you do that, you are going to continuously ride the roller coaster of joy and sorrow, 98% sorrow, as I said. Now, a Raj Rishi. Who is a Raj Rishi? Raj Rishi were Kshatriyas, you know, like you will say a commander in the army. It was a Raj Rishi. Now, Raj Rishis used to stay in the courts and look after government, the governance of the king. They were assistants to the governance of the king, fighting wars, conquering kingdoms, and all that. That was the job of a Kshatriya. And Raj Rishi was the Brahmin who used to advise the king. Now, but a person who is evolved, he has played with all the toys, what Americans say, been there, done that. He is fed up to the hilt and he does not find what he was searching. You have to seriously ask yourself that all that you have been doing through life till now, has it lent you any kind of permanent joy? You've put in a lot of effort, huh? Traveling to all kinds of places, buying expensive clothes, expensive jewelry. नहीं वो तो old hat है. Bags are the in thing. So buying expensive bags, buying expensive shoes, you know. But have you gained that joy that you were searching for? Apart from that very little, small little flicker, you do not get anything. और आपका see, now here two very simple looking terms are used. पुनर्ब्रह्मणा पुण्य भक्ता राजर्षयस् तथा, ये देखो, अनित्यम सुखम लोकम इमम. हाँ, तो ये लोकम इमम क्या है? In this world. Now the world is not the geographical world he is talking about. He is talking about loka. In philosophical parlance, loka is your world, your mental world, a doctor's world, a lawyer's world, an architect's world, a businessman's world, a Brahmin's world are different. A child's world, a girl's world, a man's world. Everybody is in his own world of physical, mental, and intellectual experiences that he has. Now, anybody who has seen all these experiences, experienced all of them, and not found the joy in those, then what does he do? What is the path that is beyond all this? Is there any way to get permanent joy? So then, see, focus on the illuminator of these words of the Gita. He constantly tells you to let go the world mentally, not physically. Physically, you can't give it up. You have to eat, you have to dress, you have to sleep, you have to do all those, right? So, physically, you cannot give up, but mentally understand the limitations. Understand the limitations that the world does not have what you are searching for. If you are searching for milk in the desert sand, how will you get it? You can churn desert sand any amount. Will you get butter? Butter you will only get where there is butter in the milk. So when you churn milk, you will get butter, not when you churn sand. So look in the right direction. This is what is being said, that look in the right directions. So the mental and physical climate of joy is created by your own mind, your own inner temperament, not the objects outside. Because the object outside gives a different experience to different people. Now, this dish called halwa, I had given this example previously also to some class. This dish called halwa, it tastes differently to a North Indian, differently to a South Indian, and differently to a foreigner. Some may like it, some may not like it. There, this is the truth of all the cooking in all the world, isn't it? The same dish is not relished by everybody. तो क्या हुआ? It is the dish is the same, but mental temperaments being different, intellectual temperaments being different, you experience the same experience differently. You like certain things, you don't like certain things. ठीक है ना? So that climate of joy is created by your mind, not by the object that you are experiencing. That being clear. Now, these two verses, these in fact 4-5 verses over here, they are very optimistic verses because they promise that even distorted personalities, even distorted mental attitudes, even people with fallen values, people who are lazy, slothful, don't even want to put in the effort, even they can be filled with sattvic tendencies. They can slowly and steadily be made to understand, and slowly and steadily they gain the momentum and the effort to reach higher. So this you must understand, and uh, you know it requires millions of years to come to scriptures like the Gita. Please understand this very carefully. How many people want to read the Gita? How many? If you even once get an opportunity to hear a scripture, any religion scripture, consider yourself very, very, very lucky that you have come from the absolute unicellular organism in water to the level, such a highly evolved level, that you can now think about the aim of life, the goal of life, and what is the ultimate acme of perfection that you can reach. So very few people even think of this. Now, hear this, the last verse. Here it says, Manmana bhava mad bhakta Madhyaji mam namaskuru mame veshyase yuktaivam atmanam matparayanaha. So it says Mamevam. Mamevam means me alone. Manmana, Madbhakta, Madhyaji, Mam Namaskaru. It all, the whole verse is saying me, me, me. Huh? So he means to say whosoever. This me does not mean Krishna alone. It means the Godhood, whether it is Ishwar or Allah or Jesus or Buddha or Nanak Dev Sahab or whosoever, it is आपके जो भी इष्ट हैं, he just concentrate on him, him and him alone. See the translation of this verse. Fix the mind on me. Be devoted to me. Sacrifice to me, bow down to me, having thus united your whole self to me. Huh? See, having thus united your whole self to me, taking me as the supreme goal, you shall come to me. You shall come to me not physically. Please don't understand this when हम लोग को इतनी आदत है of interpreting language on the physical level. This is not the physical level at all. When you do not want anything but Him, you do not want anything but perfection, you do not want anything but the highest point of evolution, when you drop the me and mine attitude, it is only him, him, and him alone. When you fix your mind on him, surrender your actions to him, surrender your speech to him, and understand that this whole equipment that you call me and mine is working only because of him. So, when you integrate your mind, it sharpens to an absolute power point where it merges into Him. You lose your identity completely and you totally merge into the Lord. And this constant awareness, Gurudev says, when you maintain it with a lot of effort in the beginning, then it becomes natural, diligently pursued, and naturally becomes your temperament. With such an attitude alone you will reach. But if you keep on diverting and diverting your mind, diverting your attention all the time, then you will never reach. Like you want to go to a certain place. Supposing you want to go to Agra. Will you take the road to Chandigarh? You will not. So you want to reach there, but your thoughts and actions are in the opposite direction. How will you ever reach? You can never reach. Think about it. You have to take the road which leads to the place you want to go, and each step that you take will move you closer to that road. You know, people say mantra is just repetitive, same thing, repeating. When you want to reach a certain place, aren't the steps repeating themselves? How will you reach there? When every step should be different and in a different direction? तब आप पहुंचेंगे क्या? No. It is a repetitive walking. Every step is a repetition of the previous step in the same direction. Only then you reach. Similarly, japa when you do, puja, dhyan, meditation, whatever you do, it goes in the same direction unisingularly and absolutely with the mind focused into that direction. You will not go astray. You will not move anywhere else. You will go straight there. And that is the secret of reaching the goal. And the Lord says, you will come to me. What we are, He says, are because of our thoughts. If the thought climate is changed, of anybody, if the thought climate is changed, the human being is changed. So whether you are in a papyoni, whether you are a criminal, whether you are a slothful person, whosoever you are, change your thoughts, and you are a changed human being. And you will ultimately become noble, divine. You become the Lord himself. That is what he says. When he says you will come to me, it is not you coming to me, it is merging with the Lord, becoming the Lord. That is why our realized masters are worshipped as the Lord themselves. You do not worship the Guru as a body, you worship the Lord in the form of that Guru. So, whenever Guru Puja is done, which is grossly misunderstood in India, also abroad, also everywhere, how can you worship a human being? You are not worshipping the human being, you are seeing the Lord through him. And the Lord through him is the one who is uplifting you. And that is why you worship the teacher. Okay, so now let's this chapter finishes. It goes Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishastu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yogo Nam Navamodhyayah. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.